Moment, let's look at another story of revival. We understand that there has been a demand revival in the industrial scene, with respect to consumables like, say, bearings. There seems to be a demand that is very evident. So today we have invited two companies that perhaps could tell us a little more about whether this demand recovery is here, how substantial it is. Joining us now is Nitin Menon, the Joint Managing Director of Menon Bearings, and K. Srinivasan, Managing Director of Carborundum Universal. Srinivasan and Menon, good morning to both of you. Thank you very much for joining us. Let me start with you, Srinivasan. What is the sense you're getting? Is your capacity utilization improving? More orders in your order book?
To rest, I think there is clearly a bottom-up demand pickup. We're not seeing any big projects getting started, but clearly there's a bottom-up demand pickup. Retail construction, retail consumption have all picked up. So our capacity utilization is inching up. We were at about 65–70%, but clearly we'll be probably pushing 80% plus in Q2. Clearly there is a demand pickup, and as you all know, in our space of abrasives, etc., the Q2 is always a big quarter because we have all the puja holidays and all coming up, and people tend to do all the home improvements and all that during this period. So there is definitely a demand pickup. That's on the domestic side. And on the international also, I must add, there is actually no great slowdown that was anticipated didn't happen either in Europe or in America or even in Russia. So clearly there is an overall definite demand pickup.
Okay, there's a definite demand pickup. That's the word coming in from Carborundum Universal. But we also have Menon Bearings. That stock should be up for you. The company manufactures engine bearings for a slew of auto and consumer durable companies. We have Nitin Menon who joins in. Nitin, hi, good morning. First, your view on, whether there is a genuine demand pickup that you're seeing. And I also wanted to ask you why your revenues have not scaled up to the proportion that many of your peers have seen. For example, in 4 years back, your revenues in 2012 were about 90 crores, and today it's about 110 crores per annum, despite having such marquee clients in your list. What is the reason for that?
See, it's a good question. I would like to clarify that we are not into manufacturing of ball bearings or taper and bearings like NRB or SKF. So we are basically an engine component manufacturer, heavy-duty diesel engine manufacturer, and in engine bearing, in India, I think there are 4 or 5 major players, and we are one of them. So we are supplying to basically an engine part like a transmission or an engine bearing where a crankshaft fits. So basically our principal clients are like Tata Motors, Cummins, John Deere, the tractor segment, the heavy-duty truck segment.
Morning. So if you could give us your market share, the current market share, because this is a bit new for our viewers. If you could tell us what's the current market share, and do you have plans to scale it up?
At present, we are among the top 3 engine bearing companies in India. And with most of my customers, we enjoy at least 60–70% share. In some of the parts, we are single source supplier for past many number of years.
Okay.
For example, a tractor manufacturer who we have started supplies maybe in 2004 started. We are still even today single source for India as well as for those parts in Saran, France.
Okay. Well, Mr. Srinivasan, you spoke about revival. Can you compare it to previous years? I mean, you were referring to more festival season and stuff like that, which would be seasonal. Is the demand recovery better than year ago, year before? Is it comparable to the probably now golden era of 2011?
I think the demand pickup is significantly better than last year. Like I said, it's a bottom-up demand pickup. So even during the season, it's higher than what it was in the last couple of years. But it is not comparable to the best years. I mean, if you look at what we had, 11, 12, etc., those are outstanding years. But this is definitely better than the 2 years after that.
Okay. And what would be the wellsprings of this demand? You see an industrial recovery, or is it a consumption-led recovery?
It's a consumption, bottom-led bottom-up recovery, consumption-driven recovery. I think there's more money in the hands of a lot of people, the rural, urban, everywhere. And I think that's bottom-up. It's not no big projects, nothing big top-down.
And if this is coming in a situation of lower commodity prices, should we expect outsized margin and net profit returns?
I think so, because like I said, the carborundum is about 2,000 odd crores, and half of it is in India, half of it outside India. And this is across the board. We are seeing the same situation even in Europe, Russia, America, and others. So in a sense, it's going to be a volume pickup and consequent margin pickup as well.
Okay. Mr. Menon, apart from the diesel engines, that you work for, you also supply to compressors for air conditioners and refrigerators. Wanted to understand what kind of potential growth do you see from that part of the business?
See, we are seeing revival in every segment. That is why in Menon Bearing you will see a consistent growth, maybe from 2012-13 onwards. We have grown at average around 22 to 25% every year. We supply our components to engines, electrical components, to the transmission, to the brakes. So about electrical, we have 3-4 suppliers who are making small compressors, and we are the major suppliers to them. And if the previous question you asked me, why is the growth of the company very slow, or why we are not a 500 or 1,000 crore company? We have reached a turnover of 130 crore. We work at an EBITDA of around 28-29%. My PBT is around 23%. So I would rather, in another 2 years' time, have a 250 crore company with a 20% margin, rather than having a 1,000 crore company with a 4 and 5% margin.
No, so are you saying that revenue is the wrong way to look at it, because commodity prices are probably pulling revenue down, but you're doing fine as far as margins and volumes are concerned?
Yes. See, on revenue side also, we are not showing 50%, 100% growth. Every year there is a consistent growth of 25-30%, and that graph is going to keep on increasing. We have so many customers.
Where is your best demand? Where is your best demand springing from, and does it look sustainable and improving to you?
Yes. See, demand will just, by segment-wise distribution will give you an idea. Like the OEM, the Indian OEM, we are around 50 to 52%. Exports at present to America, to Brazil, to China, to Korea, and to all these countries constitute around 25 to 30%. We are selling in the replacement market under the Menon brand name. That is the aftermarket, what you call. Okay. So that's around 9 to 13%. And the electrical business is another 9%. So from all areas, we are finding that there is growth, and we are into a product which requires a lot of validation and testing at our end, at customers' end. And hence the entry level into the business is very high.
Oh yes, we got that. Mr. Menon and Mr. Srinivasan, thank you for stopping by and speaking to us about the demand situation.